Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. Today we're taking a look at Light Painter, and Light Painter is a pretty cool tool from Shader Aero, and the idea behind this is for you to paint and sculpt light directly in your viewport with the freedom that you've always wanted. And the cool thing with this is this allows you erase, clean up and work with both gradients and selection panels. And of course, for those who like to grab this, you can simply go over to the link in the description that bring you right here where you'll be able to grab it. And with that said, let's dive right into Blender and explore how this actually works. So with Blender simply open up right here, how you get to work with this is pretty easy. All you need to do to get the add-on installed is to drag and drop it right inside of your viewport. And once you do that and this gets installed, you would notice right here that we've got 3 new icons. If you tap N on the keyboard, you'd also notice that we've got the lighting right here. So in this case, we do have a nice little scene where we have the monkey and a simple plane. So if we tap N on the keyboard, we need to select the light. This works with 2 types of light, your spotlight and your area light. So in this case, we're simply going to use the area light, scale that a little bit and raise this all the way up. So let's actually add a bit more scale to this so that we can have more stuff coming in. So we can have that. Now, once you have this ready to start painting, you need to switch over to cycles. And in this case, we're simply going to switch to GPU because we would like to get the rendering a bit faster. Once we have that, we can go over to our renderer. Now, once we switch over to the rendering, you would notice that there is no light coming in. The reason is because we haven't placed in a layer and we haven't started painting. And to do that is as simple as this. Right here is where you've got your layers. And of course, you can select what resolution you like to paint your light textures in. In this case, we're simply keeping things at 1K and we're clicking on the plus sign to have that layer right there. So with this layer, we'll select the paintbrush and we'll select the given color and we can start painting. So once we paint through, you would notice that as we paint through, that it sort of gives us a glimpse of light coming in, but we don't see the light. Why is this so? The reason is simple, that right here, we have our power set to 10. If we increase this to about 1000, you'd notice that we're getting that light in. Another thing which is contributing to this is the spread. So the spread is set to 180, which is a little bit too much. And if we like this to be a bit more condensed, maybe we want to see the shape that we just drew, we can set this to maybe 10 and you can start seeing that. So if we reduce or increase this, you can see this in action. Something else which you might also notice is if we change the color or, if we use any color and we choose to paint, let's say we paint around like so, here says toggle camera view for better result. The reason is because you can actually paint in 2 spaces, and that is the camera space or the light space. So if you don't want to see that error, always paint in light space, as once you're within the light space and you proceed to start painting, you don't see that message or that information again. Now, because this is layer based, it means that you can add as many layers as possible, mix them and create cool stuff. And that is the beauty of this. So we can increase this brush size to a bigger brush size and we can go ahead and select the given color, say green, for example, and we can choose to paint green all the way like so. And because this is layered, we can turn this off, turn this on, and get some very nice varieties. And varieties, like they say, is the spice of life. And this spices things up even more because we can go over to our blending option and change it from mix to multiply all the way to screen, down to add, subtract, overlay, and also soft light. So again, depending on what you want, you can do that. More so, we have opacity. So we can drop the opacity down if we like to control the opacity, and we can crank this up if we want to. Down here, we've also got the layer transform. And this is really nice because in certain instances, you may want to move the layers around. So to move the layers around, you've got all of these. On the other hand, you also have some hotkeys right here. So if we tap D, for example, with the left mouse button, we can move this to wherever we want, giving you that creative control on working with stuff. Maybe we want a little bit of green here and we want a little bit of green there. What we can do is to duplicate that layer and we can tap D on the keyboard. With the left mouse button, we can also move this over to a point like so. And moving things around, scaling them, rotating them, all of that transforms are nice, but what if you would like to clean certain things up? So to clean things up is also relatively easy. Let's take a look at the layer 1, for example. So with our layer 1 selected, if we simply go all the way down and switch this to erase, and then we have our brush selected, we can specify the size, the flow, the hardness, the strength, the gamma, all that stuff. And once we have that sorted out, we can start painting and clean things up how we want them to be. So with the erase tool, you can use this to erase your paintings. So we can erase that, possibly erase this. Maybe we're not super interested in those colors anymore, and we have some nice colors we like to paint in. Of course we can. So we can have all of that size and flow and hardness turned on, the strength cranked all the way up, and we can start painting in our brand new color. And this is super nice. Something else which is also super nice is here. If you do have an image that you like to use as the texture, of course you can throw that in, and of course you can use a solid color if you want. So in this case, maybe we'll just want a solid color of black. On this layer, we can set that. If we want a solid color of pure white, we can also set that. If you have a solid color you like to use on that layer, you can throw that in. And of course, you can always go back and turn these ones on. And this gives you so much flexibility in this regard. Going all the way down, we also have some nice cool parameters that deals with the paint surface, so you can actually come through and explore that. We also have the preview mode, so depending on the mode that you like to preview on, you can actually set this one up as well. And we've got some nice cool advanced settings which are pretty impressive. Now with all this said, let's actually explore some other cool things that has to do with the painting. So for these ones, I'm simply going to turn off all of these and click on the plus sign to add one new one. We're going to explore the gradient brush. So with the gradient brush, we can choose to throw in gradients in different forms. I think linear is actually really good, so let's explore that. So for linear, I'm setting this to red, and we're simply going to leave this as black. And with that, we can simply drag from one point to another, and you can see that nice fall off. We can also drag from one point to another, and you can see that nice fall off as well. We can also switch this from linear to radial, and we can have that right there. Of course, we can also change the gradient color space if we want. We can also change the smoothing if we want. Maybe we'd like this to be linear. Of course, we can also set that as well. Ease in, ease out, we can set that too. And if you like to swap color mid operation, once you tap X on the keyboard, this automatically swaps it. So it is also a very nice tool to have. There is also a nice cool tool which can allow you select and create specific selection boxes. So the marquee selection boxes are available. So we can drag out a marquee selection box like so, select the gradient tool which we like to work with, switch this to maybe green, and possibly switch this to a different color, maybe blue for example. And once we drag all the way out, you would notice that these now exist alongside these on the same layer. Maybe we want this to be a bit more linear, we can set that up. We would like to swap this, we can set that up. What if you like to create a different kind of selection? You can also change that. Maybe you like to make some polygon selection. Of course, you can also create polygonal selections like so, lock that in, and from there you can go ahead and make specific paintings in those places. Maybe we like to paint a color like purple. We can have that, and we can simply go ahead and paint purple right there. So you've got basic selection tool sets right here. You've got different kinds of selection modes as well, and you have nice looking stuff. And of course, at any point in time you want this to be on, you can turn this on and work with them. And before we go, let's talk about how you can paint on collections. So in this scene, we do have all of these vehicles in one collection called cars. Now if we tap in on the keyboard and go over to our lighting, down here we have the paint surface. Now within the paint surface, we can specify if we like to paint on all surfaces, single objects, or collections. In this case, we would like to paint basically on the cars collection. So we're simply going to have that selected. Tap N again to get rid of that. Shift A, go in, get the area light. Of course, like we mentioned earlier, you can also play with your spotlight if you choose. So we can grab this all the way out. And now if we tap N on the keyboard, you notice we've got the area light right there. Let's also go right here and switch this to cycles, set that to GPU, turn this on, and we can throw in one nice layer. Now with this layer, if we have our paintbrush, we can change the color, change the size. Let's make this 80. Go over to our lighting, and we're simply going to increase this to about, let's say, 1000. And of course, we're also going to drop this a little bit down. And once we have this, we can now go in and make that painting. So maybe we like it to be here and also here. And once we have that, we can also go ahead and change the light to a different thing altogether. And we can also choose to paint light in this part and possibly paint some more in these other parts. Of course, if you like to use your gradient on this light, you can also go ahead and use that. At the same time, if you're also thinking about using the selection to paint light on specific stuff, you can also use the selection and paint light however you want. So it is a pretty incredible tool that Shader Hero has put together. And one amazing thing with this is because this has parameters, you can also go in and animate this light with keyframes, making it a super useful tool to connect and play with light or even paint light however you want to. So this is it for those who like to take a look at this, or possibly you'd like to get it. Links to this is going to be in the description, so do well to check it out. And of course, a huge shout out to Shader Hero for making this possible. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.